We want to find the solutions to this quadratic equation. So notice that my leading coefficient is 3. This is not a factorable quadratic, and one of the ways I can tell is by looking at my answers. So I'm either going to have to use the quadratic formula or completing the square. In the previous example, I used completing the square because my leading coefficient was a 1. Here, my leading coefficient is 3. So the best method is to use the quadratic formula. So I'm going to write A as 3, B as 4, and C as 4. And substitute that into my quadratic formula. So I'm going to do my discriminant on this side, just so I don't have to keep writing the formula over and over. So 4 squared is 16, negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, and negative 12 times 4, negative 48. So I end up with negative 32. So if I substitute that back into my equation, I get this. So I notice that this is none of my answers. So what I need to do is I need to simplify it. So I'm going to put the 4 and the 6 together, and this square root of negative 32 and the 6 together. So I'm going to separate them. Okay. So notice that I can reduce the 4 and the 6 by 2. And for the square root of negative 32, I'm going to have to simplify that using my prime tree. So I need two numbers multiplied together that gives you 32. It's 8 and 4. And then you just, two numbers multiplied together that gives you 8 is 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. So I'm going to rewrite that. Notice that I took out the I, and the reason I took the I is because the negative in the square root means it's an I. So I'm going to circle my pairs. Those go on the outside. So I'm left with 4i square root of 2. So I'm going to put that back. And again, notice that I'm going to be able to reduce by 2. So I end up with 2i square root of 2 over 3.